Hey guys, what's up? You're listening to Is This Thing On? So, guys, just want to make a brief little preface right here, right now. This episode is going to be rated E for explicit because there is some topics on here that are not necessarily age appropriate. And I do swear, curse, cuss a bit, sort of a lot in this podcast episode. And I know some of you are probably not used to hearing me cuss if you don't know me personally. I have a potty mouth at times, and it sometimes slips out when I'm having fun with people. But I just want to let you know, if you are under 18, you probably should not be listening to this podcast episode anyway. If you are over the age of 18, do whatever the heck you want. You know, it's your prerogative, whether or not you choose to listen to this episode. But just wanted to briefly preface that if you're someone that knows me and you're not used to hearing me cuss or hearing other people on this podcast cuss, maybe exit out. You know, like, you don't have to hear me cuss. I promise I won't always have a potty mouth on these episodes. I try not to. For the most part, I don't really cuss on my day-to-day life. So forgive me if this is like a, whoa there, Eva. Like, why are you cussing on this podcast? Well, it happens. We're human. Am I justifying this behavior? Sort of. Should I be partaking in cussing? No, I mean, no, but it happened, look, and I'm owning up to it, and I'm prefacing this before you listen to this episode. So just to let you know, there is minor cussing, a little bit of strong language, a little bit of risque, not safe for work topics. But as usual, these episodes, this type of episode, I'm making it 18 and older. So if you are not 18, sorry, child, you're just gonna have to wait. But yeah, I hope you guys, regardless, listening out there, like it, enjoy it, find me somewhat funny, comical, I don't know, but just wanted to preface that. I promise I won't always be cussing, and this won't always be the case. But yeah, just want to let you guys know. Anyways, without further ado, enjoy this episode. Hey guys, what the fuck is up? It's Eva, or Ivanovna, or Lynette, or Ivanovna, Lynette, whatever the fuck you want to call me. Today, or should I say next week, whenever the fuck this podcast episode's going up, I finally was able to get guests on this podcast. I know, like 6 months after having it, I'm a fucking loser, and now I have guests. Well, they asked to be on it. They've been faithful fans. I shouted them out one time a while ago. They still didn't hear it, but it was towards the end of the episode when I shouted them out, and we all kind of went to school for the same thing. So without further ado, here's the two mother truckers that are going to be on this podcast today.
Hello. I am the first mother trucker, Javi. What is cracking, y'all?
What's shaking, bacon?
Hey, it's Jacob. I'm the second mother trucker. As Eva mentioned earlier, I have a Bachelor's of Science in Psychology as well, and I'm currently pursuing a Master's in Business Analytics.
Yeah. You also have to make sure if this whole, forget afterwards taking the hand to some job afterwards, corporation, because this whole resume thing, we're not cutting around this. This is going to be unedited, unfiltered, raw. What the people want. Yeah, I mean, yeah, if that's what the people want. I don't know, maybe some people don't like them. But anyway,
taking the foreskin off this
podcast. We'll leave half of it. We'll leave half. Like halfway through, not diagonally, because that's weird. Like half the head's out. Okay. Anyways, guys, we have a great podcast today. I think. Who knows? We'll find out. That's why I'm talking and giving her the thing, Jacob.
It's all good, guys.
Mother trucker too.
Motherfucking.
Okay. The one that did not want to cuss.
So today we're gonna be talking about basically we have a central topic, and it's basically on how different relationships influence us in the pursuit of love or lack of love. So we're gonna be talking about friends with benefits and friendships and family dynamics and just like everything in between, drunk thoughts, anything that comes to mind. You got it. We're thinking about it. We're putting all the risque topics out, just laying them all out for you. You know, as they say, use protection. So, who wants to go?
So the first topic, let's find out what it is. It's going to be specific types of relationships. I think that's what I wrote down, but who knows? Let's go with that, because that might be more interesting than what I wrote down. So, I don't know what to go. I mean, yeah, because as you were mentioning, there's family, friends with benefits, relationships. But what are the juicier ones? What are the ones that make people who they are? I guess that's what we're trying to find out or get into more detail.
Daddy and mommy issues make people who
Oh, daddy and mommy issues. What do you have, Jacob? Mother trucker too? Sorry that I called you like by your real name. Anyways. Je ne sais pas. But anyways. I know, that's why I'm saying it, because they won't know, or will they know? Because who knows if this is going to be in...
wink.
Right? Oh, well, I guess we'll... Like, pause it, like I just stop talking and it'll go on, or pause it, there's an actual pause button.
No, there's an actual pause button.
Oh, it's like the stop. I
yeah.
thought that was end.
And we're back, guys. Glad you enjoyed a message from our brief sponsor.
What am I supposed to say?
Whatever you want. Whatever you want about the topic.
What comes to mind when you think about specific relationships in your life? I mean,
I think when I think of the specific relationships that affect people's lives and shapes who they are, I think it comes down to early childhood and their teenage years.
Yeah.
I think that has the biggest impact on how someone's going to be continuing in life.
So you think it's a combination of nature and nurture?
I would think a bit of more... I lean more on the side of nurture. I don't think for a big part of it you're born a certain way to the extent of how you're going to express towards others. I think that's going to be something you experience growing up in life.
So you think your experiences make you potentially who you are?
Yeah, I would be more on the side of nurture. Like
I agree with that. We'll eventually have his girlfriend on the podcast, guys, if she wants to, because she told me she does want to, but we'll see. We need to get consent first. Consent is sexy, by the way, so always ask for consent. What about you, Javi? What relationships come to mind?
See, when you asked that question, what I first thought was, which relationship you have is the best, and why do you think that is better than most? I don't know why that's what my thought process came to mind. But so I guess with that said, I guess it just... Fuck, I lost my train of thought. So it's essentially more of just like why that person you vibe with the most, or you can be yourself most around, which again that would also include like how you were raised and your environment as a child, with if you grew up with some sort of like religion, or how your parents raised you, all the nurturing, all like not good stuff. But yeah, because like everything that you do, every person you're around, even you are like you are a friend or just a colleague or a person you have in class, like even though you don't know them, they will like affect who you are in the end, in the long run.
So would you say that you've had pretty meaningful relationships with like your friends?
Yes, even though they think that they aren't. Yes, even though, because like exactly like the mother trucker too. He might think that.
Why didn't you just cover my name? You can use my name.
No. I was told mother trucker too. Okay, fine. Jacob. The other male voice.
The other penis.
Yes. But yeah, so like, I guess, again, because that might all come down to how you're raised, so maybe you don't show the people who you are closest to how much of importance it is to have them around. That's what you were asking, right? I just kept on rambling. But
You're fine.
am I God, now I lost my train of thought because I was talking about rambling.
Yeah.
Oh yes, because you were talking about my key relationships. Correct? Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. It's gone sideways.
Okay, guys. So the next topic that we're proposing is your experiences that influence your relationships. For example, in this case, we're talking about your love language. Like, what is your love language? For you, Jacob, what is your love language? How do you give it, and then how do you receive it?
I think for me, my love language is the same, whether receiving or giving. I like words of affirmation and quality time. Both are very important to me, and I think I like to share them with others that I care about.
Okay. That's good. For me, it would have to be quality time and touch. That's how I show my love language. And also, like, receiving it, I also prefer just quality time, because I'm someone that likes to be present and in the moment. And I feel like with today's day and age, we are so distracted, and it's hard for us to communicate. And so when I'm really able to get one-on-one time with my friends, that's more valuable and more special to me than them giving me gifts or them complimenting me. I've always felt weird about compliments. So if you can give me some quality time and also give me a hug every now and then, obviously not right now, stay 6 feet away from me, but for most of the time, a hug, here and there, some PDA, I guess, could work. What about you, Javi?
Okay, so mine's weird. Mine's gift, the giving, because I think that one's special, because for that one, I think that you really have to get to know the person, so you can find something that will make them feel valued, listened. Unless you're the gift that gives some gift. Maybe I'm also the gift. Maybe for a different person, I could be the gift. I could maybe craft the gift, or maybe I could just find something from their childhood, a book, a poem, and then they realize, oh my God, I totally forgot about this. This means so much to me. And then they start crying, which is a great feeling to see. That's very selfish, to see someone cry over the gift, or just seeing how they react to it. That's always the best.
So you like tears of joy?
I wouldn't say tear. Yes and no. So crying is awful all the time, but I just want to see them
happy.
Yeah, happy. I just want to see an emotion that they get over the gift. Yes.
I understand that. Mm-hmm. Back to you, Jacob.
Speaking about your gift giving and maybe the present, maybe yourself. This weekend, you and I were actually out at a Starbucks, and we were passing some time together, and we were getting a friend a gift, coincidentally. But there was a moment where I paused and thought and enjoyed the moment of you and I just being outside in the patio, and I really caught myself enjoying this is a moment with Javi, and the wind was in the air, the coffee was good, the converse. I don't know. That was just a good moment. It was great, and
the vibes were right.
I really believe in that statement. That's sometimes the greatest present is my presence, and sometimes with Javi, that's what it is.
Which could then also lead to another one, which could just be quality time with someone. Again, yeah. You're spending time with a significant other, your friend, your parents, anyone who you have any ounce of thought over, care over. Just care over. That sounds
Unless
weird.
You're a psychopath.
Yeah, just I am. It's really weird. But yeah, just spending time with every single person that you care about or want to be, that you want to care about, because that's what everyone wants. They want to feel loved. They want to feel some sort of effort. It's crazy how the world works.
And
what makes people go around.
Yeah. And in relation to that, not to shade my friends, because I love them dearly.
Shade it.
But sometimes it just sucks getting the end of the stick in terms of like quality time and like communication, because for me, I'm a huge communicator, and if someone doesn't tell me that something's bugging them, then it makes me feel unwanted, and it makes me feel like they're always mad at me. Like, prime example, I've always been the one, I'm an impatient person, and I've always been the one that will literally always reach out first, because I get so impatient and I want things to happen right away. And the thing I've learned the most around this time frame of being 20 something is that, like, you can't put the expectation on people to reach out to you all the time. You can't, like, force people to make a connection with you, whether that's romantic or platonic. Guys, if you hear cars and border patrol and
That's the mother
tacuaches,
trucker like in us.
that's another mother trucker. It's because we're outside at a park recording, and
One
we're,
with nature, if
exactly, we're literally out here meditating.
Looking up at the stars.
We're looking up at the stars. I see Mercury is still in retrograde, so
you will. Oof.
fuck you, Mercury.
No wonder my like whole week has been off. You know?
Exactly.
I don't even know what the fuck that means.
The Big Dipper. The Big Dipper is a hoe of a constellation.
All of them are.
They are.
Like, what do they even mean?
Huh?
Like, what do they even mean? It's just random nonsense that like someone
Yeah.
said, "Oh, look at that."
It's a
That looks
Big
like a pan.
Dipper.
Okay, so including to that, on that note, you can even like talk about your previous interactions with people, that being your relationship, your friends that weren't really friends, like, if you know what I mean, your friends that you wanted to be more than friends and all that jazz. So I guess talking about these things now, I could talk about my friends that weren't really friends. And I feel like Jacob would love to drag interesting not include interesting things into this little statement.
No, Javi, I have no idea what you're talking about. Please expand.
Well, you just said that with the biggest grin I have ever seen. So I guess you could talk about Kim. You know how Kim was,
Kim?
the Kim that's not really Kim, because I'm not going to say her name, Kim. The one, you know now, right?
You think Kim's gonna listen to this?
No, but you said like not to say names, so
Hey, I'm
okay.
blowing up, so.
Hey, maybe Kim, who's not really Kim, is gonna listen.
It's done for.
Like posting like, "Hey guys, you know." Okay, so yeah, Kim, who's not really Kim. Jacob thought there was.
Kim would be very confused.
Yes, we don't care about the Kim that's like not really Kim, but we know who Kim is. I'll let you know who Kim is right now at this very second.
Is it this?
No, I mean, yes, it sounds the same, but no, that's not the right big letter. Okay, just okay. No, I'm not gonna pause this. We are on a stride right now. It's the, you know, okay. So the Kim that's not really Kim. What happened with her, that we weren't friends and all that jazz, is that my friends around me would constantly say that, oh, every time they went to the restroom together. God damn it, woman, no. You're interrupting my jazz.
I know what you're talking about.
Okay. So, like, every time I would hang out with my friends. So, like, for example, I believe it was last year or 2 years ago, for her birthday, the Kim that's not really Kim, we went to a pool hall and all that stuff. And then I invited my friend because she was down here for a Christmas break from college. So then we all go to play pool and whatnot. And then at one point, both of the ladies go to the restroom, you know, do their things. Because I don't even think, like, when they go in groups, like, they don't really go to pee or anything. Like, they just want to talk, which is what happened in this scenario. Okay, so the Kim that's not really Kim, she was engaged to a friend of ours.
Oh,
fuck.
Yeah, this is gonna be some. I'm not gonna say that 'cause it's kind of racist. So yeah. So what happened was, so the thing that happened was, the Kim that's not really Kim told my friend, who used to be like a really close friend of mine. She told her that, oh, like, she, like, if we ever dated, like, like, trying to find out if I had done things with my friend to see what I thought, maybe if, essentially insinuating if I was single, like, how I acted in a relationship and all that jazz. And then a couple months later, that same thing happened, but with a different friend of mine, and the same wording happened. And all she said this time, because my friend asked her, oh, Kim, who's not really Kim, do you like Javi? And she's like, what? No, I'm engaged. What? That is crazy. That's the Kim. It's not really Kim's voice. But yeah, it's like really weird. Jacob, I know you have a lot of things to say, but maybe you don't want to say them. Who knows? Let's find out. Spill the tea. Spill the tea.
I'm very confused as to who you are talking about here.
Obviously, am I right?
There's a Kim that's not a Kim, and I think whatever situation you were in.
If there even was one, I don't think there was. I think it was just really okay. So then,
It sounds like a dysfunctional rom-com.
right? I feel like I should write this and then afterwards make it into a movie.
Yeah.
It's always been like a dream of mine to write a movie.
Kim that's not a Kim.
Right? And then also have that as her name, like in the movie, the Kim that's not really Kim.
So in your perspective, this was all platonic.
Yes, of course.
There was no interest from your side.
Okay, that's not what I'm saying. I did find her afterwards like attractive.
Are getting foggy.
Steamy.
So what? Like I'm in heat, so like the surface of my skin is just okay. Condensation, all that jazz. Yeah. But yeah, okay. So then another time we went to a music festival. This is gonna get really interesting if the Kim who's not Kim ever listens to it, because I'm basically saying her name at this point.
Or
so
the person she was engaged with.
I could care less about that person. What?
Really?
Yeah.
I thought you were friends with that person.
No, I mean, yes and no. It's like I see them, cool. I hang out with them, cool. But like, am I gonna call them? But then again, I don't call anyone, so that's really weird. I shouldn't say that. But but yeah, no. But so a year later, we go to a music festival. Me and a bunch of friends. She was included in that friend group, and then her and I share a room in a hotel. And then when we came back, all my friends asked, "Oh, so like, did y'all do anything?" Because people would imagine two people who might be like attractive. Who knows that who might do anything. I said no. And then what came after that? Because I know you said something.
Chicken or the cow?
Oh, what the fuck? What?
You never heard that phrase?
No.
The chicken or the cow?
I'm Puerto Rican, so I barely hear these.
No. Oh, okay, then it's just
no. Please like elaborate. I don't think.
Their viewers must.
Yeah, maybe, like, the viewers
it's just
don't know either.
like it's just like an inside joke. It's kind of like, why did the chicken cross the road? But what came first, the chicken or the cow, or the cow? Oh no, the egg.
Chicken or the egg? That's
the chicken or the egg. That's
okay, just to answer that question, the egg came first because of evolution.
Okay.
But anyways, where was okay? So yeah, so
the steamy parts.
I mean, is it really steamy? Because we were just friends. Yeah. Maybe she thought something else but never acted on it or said anything. Okay. Maybe that was the whole issue.
Okay.
So should I even mention this part? Fuck it, why not?
This is a tell-all expose at
right?
this point.
It afterwards, like if I die, this is my mini memoir right here. So a couple months. Oh no, not even a couple months. It's been almost a year. So a year ago, Jacob, do you want to say anything?
You're getting all hot and bothered.
I'm lost for words. Carry on, Javi.
You just said words, so I don't know if that like statement is accurate. Essentially, all shortened down to a very PG. So a rated G version. I told her something had happened. She thought I lied, and now we're no longer friends because she called me a liar, and I don't like that. That's a very G version. If you want to hear the rated R version, I'm not there. Tune
into Javi's memoir.
I was gonna make a joke that we have like a fucking Patreon, but we don't. Just like a podcast Patreon. Oh wait, we might have one, guys. Wait.
Actually, there's listener support. I could turn that feature on, and then they could give me money. So if you really care about this podcast, give some dollars. Throw some bands on those strippers.
Okay. Let's take a moment to assess what Javi just said.
They're gonna say praise the Lord because he needs.
This may be true, Javi. You may need Jesus, but besides that, you have this friend, and she's currently engaged.
At the time.
And did you feel anything about that? Were there any emotions relating to the engagement?
I wanted to end that so I can be with her? No.
Yes, okay.
Not really. But then again, here's another thing. Okay. So she would always come to me with thoughts, concerns, comments, questions about the whole engagement, I would answer them, and then like months later she ended it, and then she told me, "Oh, I ended it because you told me to." I guess that kind of got lost in translation because I was just so maybe the way she thought of it, because the way I answered it was maybe, oh, he's a problem, so maybe she just thought, oh, he's telling me this for X, Y, and Z reason, that being maybe he wants to date me, maybe he just like doesn't like the guy. I don't like the guy. I just thought maybe because of everything that she's saying, there's only one common denominator, that was him.
And did you find herself that she would what is the word? Consolidate? No.
Consolidate. Consent?
No,
Consent?
not consent.
Don't use like a fancy word.
Would you find her seeking assistance in an emotional fashion from you?
But everyone does, yes.
But specifically for you, everybody's flocking to Javi?
Would she go to you for
You have an appointment
to
list?
get consoled?
Yes and no. I guess because I'm that type of friend where if you have any sort of question, comment, I'll be like open ears. I'll give my insight on what I think is wrong or right. So maybe she did see me as that type of person.
Do you suspect that she maybe have been lacking that support from other friends?
Possibly, yes.
Her from her fiance?
Possibly, who knows? I don't know their whole
If it's
the relationship side of it.
If it's the person I'm thinking of.
Oh, it is.
Do you think her friends would have judged her for expressing these same emotions to them?
Yes, but not in like a bad way.
You don't think her friends had bad judgment about some people?
They might have, yes. But maybe... Okay, so here's another thing. Every single person has a different type of friend. A friend who they just talk to, like, interact with, like, haha, like, jokes. Like, I'll just send you a funny video. Maybe they have a person who they have sex with, so just that friend. Maybe they have a friend who it's their best friend. And maybe they have a friend who they just spill their hearts to.
Yeah.
Like, no one has one friend who fills all fucking categories. That's just not a thing. I don't even think it's luck. I just feel that's not sad, but like maybe you're not. I wouldn't say you're not whole, but maybe you need someone. Like, you can't just have one person like in your life, because everyone needs space and everyone needs to vent or do things, and maybe like they don't need you like taking their life for. You need more than one friend. I'm basically saying.
Or there's just a friend that encapsulates all that.
Even then, I feel like there has to be something. So like, okay, so like maybe they do, maybe let's say at a 95 percentile, there's still that 5 that like needs to be filled, and maybe that 5 is just like a boyfriend or like a girlfriend. I don't know afterwards like what you like.
So I guess like the different levels of closeness.
Yes, of course.
Okay, so like some friends I maybe as close to them at a 50% level, and like closer friends maybe 80%, 90% as confident. Okay, I could see that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think we all definitely have different levels of emotional intimacy that we're comfortable with exposing.
Mm-hmm.
And we have those friends that we know we can literally like start bawling, and they'll be fine with us, they won't freak out. And then you have those friends that are like, get your fucking shit together, because I don't want to deal with another manic ass
Right,
bitch.
yeah.
So
because there's also like that type of friends like who you need, like who just says like all like the fuck like the what's the word, oh my god, the
get over it.
like this, yes, kind of like straightforward friend who's just like
Very blunt.
yeah, very blunt, thank you, yes, like who just says like after to get off your ass, like go to work and stuff. Like,
I mean, that's good to have too, because I think you need to have like someone that grounds you and keeps you level-headed. But at the same time, there's people that can be super blunt with you and also actually care about what you have to say. And
of course, I almost knocked that phone over.
Going back to the situation you're referring to, Javi.
The Kim that's not really Kim.
Yes, the Kim that's not really Kim. What were some of the lessons you may have learned from this person, or things that you're gonna change in the future, maybe, or stay the same?
So I want to say this one specifically I learned from this whole situation. I feel like I always try to live by, if you ever trying to be in some sort of romantic relationship, honesty and communication are key, which is what lacked in that whole thing. She wasn't very honest with me, and maybe I wasn't honest with her. Maybe I only told her what I wanted her to know, and maybe that was a problem like in and of itself. That could have maybe caused the whole thing to go sideways. Yeah.
I think sometimes we just want to hear what we want to hear to get the answer. Like whether it's like we're in love with someone or we need closure from someone. I mean, that's another thing that I think I've learned a lot this year is like you may never get closure with someone, and you kind of have to be okay with that, because not everybody is as blunt or communicates or writes a song about you or dedicates 6 episodes to you.
We all don't have a fucking Taylor Swift or like a Harry Styles who like writes songs about us, which we should. I want someone like to write like a song about me.
I do that.
Right? In a good way or a bad way. Like I fucked them up like so badly like that they have to write it, or like they're in love with me so much that they have to write it. I'm fine with either or.
With either or.
Yeah. Sadly, but you know.
It's like I'm gonna ride on that wave of clout.
It's not even clout. It's knowing that song like is about me. That's
right?
Yeah.
I think that's really
That's
satisfying.
like one of my small like ego boosts like that I need in life, which I don't really like to talk about egos.
And with that, guys, we're gonna move into our next topic, which I think is a little risque one. And I think if you are 18 and under, please turn it off right now.
Should they though?
I mean,
They'll learn about it eventually.
Exactly. We
Listen.
might be helping them, or we might be like ruining it. Bless you.
thanks.
Hopefully helping.
Hopefully helping, but we're gonna be talking about friends with benefits and love interests. So anyone wanna take the bait on that one first?
I think the first question was whether or not these two could be mutually exclusive. I think getting involved in this type of relationship will, and it's in of itself, will cause one to lead to the other. If you try just to hook up with somebody, there's probably gonna be somebody who gets emotions, and it's just not healthy unless you're really, really strong-minded. But even then, I think it's very challenging.
Oh yeah, I think that. I mean, do I want to get super personal? I mean, I guess I could. I guess I'm just gonna say I had a situation with a particular person, and I think at one point I was in love with them, and I was hoping for something more, or at least I thought I was in love with them, right? Because that's another thing. Like sometimes you have such deep and meaningful connections with people, and then you kind of just sit there and you're like, oh shit, am I in love with them, or am I in love with the idea of having them in my life? And I think for me, a year and a half later, coming out of this like situation that I was in, and you know, I'm on good terms with this person now, even though it's complicated. But I think the main takeaway from that is that I was in love with the idea of having this person in my life and possibly having them as a significant other. And sometimes that question still ponders my mind, and sometimes I still would like that person to be my significant other, but they don't feel the same way, and you can't just be holding on to something that the other person doesn't want to start. So unrequited love is a bitch, but get used to it.
Of course. What's wrong like with the bluntness? That's just what some people need. They need like a smack in the head.
You do.
But okay, so like
on the booty.
hey, like if they're into that. But I feel like now that's such like a stigma, like where it's like they just lie about it, like, oh yeah, sure, I like it. Anyways, going off that little wonderful topic statement, Letterman, that's weird. That's what I was going to talk about. So there's this friend of mine who so it wasn't really like, oh, a situationship or anything of that sort. It was just more, I loved the idea of her. I didn't like her in any sense. I just like, oh, like she's a cool person, she's funny, like she's like a gorgeous girl. She had ambitions, so which is why it seemed there was some feelings there, which I guess she always, I think, not knew, but like hinted that maybe this guy likes me, which I didn't. It was more of the idea of this, maybe that's like the mold of the type of woman I would like to date.
So would you say that some guys can be incredibly oblivious when it comes to knowing if you have or they have feelings for you.
I wouldn't say it's oblivious in a sense. I'd say it's more confusion, maybe. But then again, that's kind of the same thing. Because
sorry, not
no,
to
go
cut
ahead,
you off.
please.
But like, so if there's suspicion there, like that this person like likes you, if this person like knows that you like them, right?
Is this you as a girl, or is this you as him, like liking you? What
Like,
in what sense?
Like me liking him.
Okay.
Like if he knows already that I like him, and he kind of plays into it by like, I guess, teasing me about it and saying that he's listened to my podcast episodes or he's extracted information from people, and he thinks that I'm obsessed with him, but I'm not. Like what would you say in that case this person's doing? Like, are they just feeding into their own ego? Do they just love the idea of you, like you mentioned? What exactly do you think it could be?
I just want to chime in. I think this person is taking advantage of the power move that they have, the power leverage of, oh, I know what you're saying, and they're analyzing and they're extracting, and it's definitely like, oh, I have more cards in my hand than you do, so I know more. But in reality, that's not healthy for relationships. I think I'd be a bit worrisome to get involved in something like that, where it's a power struggle, because those don't typically work out.
That's a really good point. I also think they should just man up and say that they listen to this podcast, because I feel like they do. Plus, like, I look at my demographics, guys, and I know that most of you listening to this are between the ages of 23 to 28. So, you know who you are out there. Just admit it. This is your guilty pleasure. You sit in your bathtub with a glass of Mike's Hard Lemonade and some semi-sweet chocolate.
But isn't that kind of sexist? After it's like to man up.
That's
Ooh,
true. Ooh.
You're sex.
No. I didn't mean to be sexist, but I was just gonna say, grow up a bit. Grow up.
Oh, so now he's immature.
See,
in some senses, I think that we can be immature.
Everyone is, in a sense. Yeah, of course. But, okay. So to the whole man up. It's, okay, how do I describe this? Because my brain's going 1,000 miles. So it's, never mind. That's just going to ramble on to make things even more confusing. I'm just going to ignore that. Okay. So.
Ignore it.
I'll go on a mile. So, yes and no. He might just be trying to test the waters, like to see, maybe, is this actually real? Maybe I'm not just imagining it. Maybe he does want it. Maybe he just doesn't know how he feels at the moment, or maybe he changed how he felt. Like maybe in the beginning he didn't feel anything, but now he does. So maybe he thinks that's for the wrong reasons. But then again, who knows if there's no clear line of communication. But then again, most people don't fucking talk, and that's annoying.
That's true. I mean, I've made it very clear that I want this person, but...
And that's all we can do, is just...
Right?
Make a statement on what we want, and let's see if they react.
Yeah.
What do you think causes these lack of communication lines?
Oh, I'm going first.
Stuff.
Fantastic. Fear, intimacy, mystery, seduction. Yeah, because maybe they think, oh, I'll be mysterious if I don't say anything, or maybe I'll just tease them. I'll give them little glimpses of what they might want.
Do you think there's a fear of being vulnerable? Do you think that there's a fear of being vulnerable?
1000% there's a fear of being vulnerable. No one wants to get hurt. Everyone wants to be the fucking little spoon in life.
Everybody.
Don't act like you don't want to be hold and caressed like at night, like feel that warmth like around you.
I would disagree. No.
Really?
I think it's enjoyable to be confident and take care of others. Mm-hmm. I think I've in my life I have had multiple experiences in not just love but friends, family, where I've had to be the comforter, not comforted, and I don't think there's anything bad with that.
I'm not saying that there is. I'm just saying there are certain moments, situations that you want to be cared for, like you want to be held, like you want to feel how you treat others.
Yeah, I just want to be loved because whether it's by my friends or like, whoever I'm dating, like it's
Whoever's next on the hit list.
whoever's next on the hit list or the roster of people that I have on my rotation schedule. But I would love to just feel appreciated at times because I feel like a lot of people take your kindness and they take it for granted because they take it for weakness, and they kind of just expect you to always reach out, to always comfort them when they're having a situation in their lives. And again, while you said it's great to be comforted, to comfort other people, because I think we're all called to do that, some more than others, but I think it's also great when the other person wants to comfort you, because a lot of the time, like, one person ends up taking all the baggage over the other person, and it can be very draining.
Yeah, I think building strong foundations for friendships is very important.
Yeah, extremely important.
The other day, Javi and I were talking about how friendships have different characteristics that are very important, and what makes true friendships. And he specifically said, "Are friendships genuine?" He discussed how there were moments in our friendship where we had moments of enjoyment that may be considered passionate because of how exciting it may have been or how joyous it may have been. And I think how we should just expand a little bit on this part.
Yeah, what about the passion?
Okay, that part I honestly do not recall. I don't know if, like, maybe you've, like, drugged me, or you, like, maybe you gave me alcohol. I'm not gonna hand over the phone.
You were referring to specifically one of those ACL trips when we were in such awe of the festival and it was such a great experience that there was some form of passion. You're comparing it to the love triangle that exists in true love to friendship love.
Ooh.
Honestly, I still do not, like, remember that. I almost said dick, but then I said dick. I write a lot of things down.
Well, no, I don't want this last part to be the second.
Okay, so what I was referring to our friendships ever truly genuine is there's always, I wouldn't say a catch, but there's a reason, maybe some sort of stimulus to why you're there. It might be because they bring you joy, you have sex with them, maybe they buy you things. Who knows? But I just feel like there's always some sort of catalyst. And I am being told by my producers to add the love triangle.
That's what you're saying?
So you think...
Yeah. Go ahead, please.
To add to that,
Oh,
I was going to say,
whoever.
do you think that friendships can be transactional sometimes then?
Yes. 1,000%.
Like, depending on what we need, whether it's emotional, sexual, whatever, like, you think it can be, like, transactional?
I got some weird ass friendships if it's like sexually transmitted.
No diseases are being transmitted, if that's what you're, like, referring to. But yes, how could you not, like, agree to that? So you're telling me that you still have some sort of friendship with every single person that you have known for your life?
No, I would agree. I don't have a consistent friendship with all of them. What's your point of that, of being transactional?
Because at the moment, you needed that person for some sort of reason. That might have been, oh, I only know this person in class and I don't want to be bored, so I'm going to talk to them. Or maybe this girl always brings extra fucking cookies and she only eats one, so I can eat the rest. I don't know.
Because they're extra fun cookies.
Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, I could see that. I think I misunderstood what you meant by transaction before.
Cha-ching, you go to a store, I want this. Transaction. Bada bing, bada boom.
Like, you get something out of it.
They have the
Gabagoo.
the gabagoo, and that's what you want in life.
If you don't know what that is, go to TikTok and look up Gabagoo. Okay, for Gen Z or whatever the...
Gen Z millennials and all of them, we're all on it, sadly. And we all said, oh my god, this app sucks, like it's a joke, but then we are all enough like addicted to it.
Yeah.
Okay, if you're not going to base the friendships off the love triangle, what do you define as your foundation for friendships?
Oof.
Who said that I wouldn't?
Okay. Either way, how do you define your friendships as their foundation?
I guess in a very simple manner, is joy occurring, and there has to be a reason why I'm there. Like, I'm not just gonna hang out with someone else because of whatever reason. Like, I have to be satisfied, not in like a sexual way, but like, or maybe, I don't know, but I need to feel pleased, like, I don't know, laugh, happiness. I don't want to be somewhere where I'm mistreated or I feel sad all the time.
So you want to be captivated by this person. You want to be like emotionally stimulated by them. Like, you don't want to basically like talk to a deadbeat.
But then again, you can't say emotionally like stimulated, because that can be in a bad context as well.
Dealing with a
Yeah,
manipulator.
I can just be someone with who will just have me there to make fun of all the time. I only see them, oh yeah, like you're XYZ bad things. I don't want to go into detail so you won't use my bad language. But yeah, that's that sort of things.
What else?
I forgot what I was going to say.
We're
Say
talking about
something.
the...
Friendships, hobby.
It's okay, we can edit it.
Okay, we can. Okay,
We're on a roll.
I had it. You were taking too long.
You said 5 words.
Oh, yes. So, what is your advice to others when seeking out friendships or who may be having trouble finding true friendships or genuine friendships, like you said?
So I know this is gonna come bad after it's coming from me because I don't call people first. Look for someone who will look out for you, in a sense. Like, oh, like, okay. So if you watch the show New Girl, right? You have to find your Schmidt to your Nick. Like in that episode where Schmidt he goes walking down the store, he sees a cookie, he says, "Oh, Nick, here's a cookie." Then Nick is like, "Oh, like, why'd you give me this cookie?" Like, I don't know, man. Like, I just saw the cookie, and then afterwards, I just thought of you. You give me cookie, I give you cookie. Like, you need someone who will think of you, who will give you the cookie. I mean, maybe that cookie too. Like, you know, like what I mean. But yes, like, you need someone who will think of you in the good times and bad times, who will try to be there for you, even when you don't want them there.
That's a really good.
Okay. Eva, what is your foundation for friendships?
The main one is communication.
Get in their pants.
I mean, we want that kind of friendship, you know? The main one for me is communication. Like, I think I was talking to you guys about this, like, actually a few minutes ago, right? Because these episodes are obviously pre-recorded. But I was mentioning that I am not someone that likes surface level friendships. Like, what is the point of you asking me how's my day going? And like yes, it's fine to check in on people and say that. But like, if you really want to like develop a friendship with me, like, ask me deep things. Like, ask me what I think about, like, I don't know. Like, I guess if you want to talk politics, we can ask me about why do I lean this way and why do you lean. I like deep, meaningful conversations, and I think the main thing for me is communication. Like, if you can't get past the small talk with me, then I don't see a point in like developing a deeper friendship with you.
And do you think you make these intentions clear to your friends?
For the most part, yes, I would say I do. Like, I'm very vocal about it, and I don't like passive people. I really don't. Like, one of the things that irks me is when someone is deliberately avoiding me and I find out that they are, and then it's like, okay, like, I knew you were avoiding me, but why didn't you just come up to me and say that we're having a problem rather than just sliding it under the rug? And that's what I don't like. I don't like passive people. I like people that want to just bear it all out.
Wouldn't that go back to their lack of communication, though?
Yes, it definitely would. I'm a big communicator. I feel like most people are not.
I would agree.
Yeah, so I think communication and honesty is probably another good one.
And what is your advice for people seeking friendships?
For people seeking friendships, really be a friend to people even when they don't want it, even when they don't need it, even when you feel like they're super independent and they have everything going for them. You truly don't know what they're going through. They could be going through like a period of depression, or they could just be very insecure, but on the outside they're projecting that they're this super confident person. And so I think going forward with establishing a friendship, like really find out what this person, well, find out what they like find out your common denominator, like what similar interests you guys have. And then, for example, if it's like baseball, well, find out what team they root for, like what exactly do they like, and be honest and approach them and be yourself.
Yeah, but then again, what if someone does approach you, but it's when they're intoxicated, inebriated? Do you take those seriously? Who knows? Do you take those thoughts seriously, is what I was mentioning, commenting, asking the board of directors here.
I mean, a drunk man never lies, right? I feel like when we've had a few margaritas, a few choco versas, I feel like everything just, slips out, like,
So I think two things. So I think the words are 1,000% accurate. Those are real. But the action, which and by action I mean them telling you. I think so. Sober thoughts are always accurate, yes, but the action itself is not. Maybe they're thinking of Kim, who's not a Kim, just so you can have a reference. But I have Jacob in front of me, so maybe I'll just tell him that. But it's not actually to him, but the actual words are true. Or maybe it'll actually be I'm thinking of Jacob, and I actually want to tell him this. It'll be true then. It's always sadly, because there's no actual rules, I would think it's more of a case-by-case statement, sadly.
And what are your personal experiences with intoxicated people?
Like their thoughts, or just like how they interact? Because those are two different things.
Anything that's unique that sticks out to you?
So, I've had people tell me that they're in love with me while they're intoxicated, but then never show any signs of it afterwards. What is going on here? Producer.
I just hadn't heard that one before.
Yes, you have.
They don't know that.
No, he hasn't. No, he hasn't. I'm sorry. And maybe they don't know. If they were actually like listening. But yeah, so I have had people tell me that they love me and then never actually.
So they never hit you up for like a date or anything?
Okay. Yeah, no. Because, okay, so when they told me this, they weren't actually in town. They were away in college.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So they told me this, our freshman year of college, and then, like, 10 minutes later, she texted me saying, oh, no, that was my friend who sent that. Sorry, ha, ha, ha. And I was like, okay, whatever. I'm fucking studying for, like, a test. So, bye. I was more worried about the test.
Yeah.
And then the second time that happened was, like, a year later into college, our sophomore year, she said all these things drunkenly, and then she didn't say my name. She said afterwards like another man's name, which is what, again, I was saying, maybe the action's different. Maybe she was thinking of that person, but I was the first person that she saw because our names both have, afterwards it started with a J.
Okay.
And then I called her afterwards, like when I got out of my shift at work. She said I don't even remember saying that.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Which, okay, so to add to that, I think maybe in the beginning of our friendship, there was some sexual attraction. Maybe she did it like me, but then she just moved on with life. Mm-hmm. Maybe she threw me in the friend zone, as some people do. Mm-hmm. And maybe she was like, oh, I'm drunk. Maybe I'll just think of this person. Maybe it was afterwards with my same name. I'll never know. I don't want to know. I just have that memory and use that as examples when my friends say things to me when they're drunk. I always want to know if it's true. Which is, again, case by case. And what's happening in your life and their life at that moment in life.
What about you, Jacob?
What about me?
Any
Have I
drunk
told you anything, bro?
confessions?
Oh, I actually have. When okay, so a couple years back, Jacob was going on a trip in his favorite rocket ship to Vegas. He was supposed to go with another friend of ours, but I predicted that friend was going to go. I was right, obviously, like always. So then I told him so then like one day we're drunk. Okay, so I think this was. Never mind. This is so like irrelevant. Oh, okay. So then we're just at his house drinking, and then I get really drunk, and then so what I was told, because at this point I blacked out. I was told that I fell on the ground. I grabbed my wallet and I threw my credit card at him, and I said, "Buy the fucking plane ticket. I'll fucking go with you." What do you think of that? Like, do you think I was being genuine? I was just in the moment. What was that?
What were the thoughts?
If I remember correctly, I think I just remember thinking it would be taking advantage of a friend and his financials to actually go on the website, buy the ticket. You probably would have gone and it would be a great memory, but I would have felt horrible finding out if you couldn't afford something like the next 2 weeks. I regret not accepting that offer. It would have been a really
Being your sugar daddy.
it would have been a really great experience to go to Vegas with you. And I hope we do get a chance to go, hopefully past this COVID pandemic. But yeah, I think you were being genuine. I would say yes.
And I think also at that same time, I was talking to your brother. Because again, I was just blacked out. I was just informed all this days later. Apparently, I think you told me that I told your brother that I was in love with someone or that I like someone.
That might be something he would know.
Oh, because I just remember you telling me. But then again, elderly JJ is not here. With his wise thoughts. So he can't. Oh, I'm sorry. I think Mr. QQ. But yeah, those are my thoughts, or when I've been drunk and I've received drunk. I've been both the messenger and the receiver. That's interesting. What are yours, if you have any?
Do I have any? Okay. Well, one time, Brianna, your girlfriend. Oh, fuck. Never mind. I don't think I've really ever had an experience. I mean, I almost gotten inebriated a few times, and I've texted the guys that I've had a crush on, just telling them like, hey, I think we would be cute together, or I kind of love you, or something like that. But nothing ever really transpired after that, so I don't really have that much experience with that yet.
In my experience, I think people just make themselves more vulnerable. They're more likely to have conversations. Maybe it's just the lack of regret that they'll have, and they're more, they're less in, what is it? They have their lower inhibitions, and they just feel like they can be themselves. And maybe the sober person that they pretend to be has reached a point of no longer being there due to the alcohol, whatever is causing them to be inebriated. And I think
They're also just more impulsive, right?
yeah, they're impulsive, more impulsive too. So their thoughts are just coming out of their mouth as they come in. And I think if you get a chance to talk to somebody who's inebriated and you hear them for what they're really saying and go beyond just like surface level conversations, you get to really know a person better than what they sometimes pretend to be all the time.
For sure. Javi?
To be frank, I zoned out, but I think I know what you were saying. Yeah, so people always... So here's my other thing with that. I think that might include when they're... People always want to have some sort of shield around them. They don't want to be their true selves around most people. They want to feel protected in some way, which is why they need alcohol, the devil's lettuce, all these things to make them be who they are in their 100%, in their true state, which is sad in a way, that they hide who they are and they need these things to be who they are.
Yeah, I think we're all just hiding behind either alcohol or the devil's lettuce, or we're hiding behind. I mean that too.
Oh, my bad. I heard horse.
I mean, we're not in Vegas yet. But I think we also hide behind certain people, and we have certain walls that we build up in order to protect ourselves. And this could just be one way.
Yeah, I think the perception that people use alcohol and drugs to somehow incline their life, it's more often than not a way to cover up something and make some form of pain go away or some thoughts go away. And the fact that we chastise these people as in like, oh, they're just an alcoholic or they're just a stoner or they're whatever this, I think we need to look past that surface level and see what's really bothering the person, whether it's anxiety or stress, things that are often discussed in the psychological field.
Yeah, they could be going through some really difficult stuff, and the only way they can seem to cope with it is by using drugs, and that happens. And I think that we get so numbed and we get so conditioned to this being normal that it's not good, guys, to numb your emotions with alcohol and drugs. I think if you need to feel what you need to feel it, and cry it out. Get a tub of ice cream. Get some tacos.
Like some more healthy ways, you can go to the gym.
Or go to the
You
gym.
can get closer to your faith.
Yeah, get closer to your faith.
You can,
get those endorphins going.
Maybe you need to help others, and that's your...
Yeah, exactly. Like, you get to be there for people.
Yeah, maybe that does increase those endorphins that make you feel better.
Exactly. What else, Javi?
Well, you see, like, some of those I have issues with, but that's a whole nother thing. But
That's a whole nother episode.
That's a whole nother
Whole
episode.
nother episode.
Like, I guess I don't want to say in conclusion, because who knows if these people want to go longer or not. But why am I even fucking concluding this? Like, if I'm just...
You want me to conclude it?
I mean, sure. I'll conclude it by saying in conclusion.
So, guys, with that said, thank you all for listening to this episode. It was a wild ride. Well,
Yeah.
What did you want to say, Jacob?
If you want to see Javi and I back on the show, just drop those comments. Or if you never want to see us again, drop those comments. Let us know if you...
I was about to tell you guys that you'll be back for like...
Oh, okay. Well, looks like it's not your choice. He was the host.
No, guys, I think honestly we have really good chemistry. We have a good friendship going, and I think they'll be back for a bunch of episodes because they have... Honestly, like, I can't give myself the credit here. They came up with the ideas. They got the ball rolling. They really should run this podcast every now and then. Like, just, fuck Eva. Take her out of the equation,
So you guys want to see, is this thing on part 2?
Is this thing on part 2?
Is this thing really on?
Is this thing really on?
So...
That'll be like our mini fucking podcast, like within like a podcast.
If you guys want to see them back again for more episodes, make sure to leave a rating on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcasts. Also, on the YouTube channel, it'll probably be uploaded on there. So, and by the way, we have a podcast number that none of you ever bother to call.
But if they can, because charges are expensive to call.
No, it's free. They can
what
absolutely...
if they live in Romania? It's like the international...
It's a Google Voice number. They can always call it and they'll be fine.
Here, guys, just follow... No, I wasn't going to say mine. I was going to say Robert's.
Oh my God, let's get Robert on the podcast. We might get Rob.
If he makes it the cut.
Shout out to Robert. If you're listening to this, you're going to be on the podcast. You have no choice.
Because this isn't a fucking...
Yeah.
Democracy.
No, it's not. It's a dictatorship, like full on. But yeah, if you guys ever want to leave a voicemail or leave podcast suggestions, or you are going through a rough situation, you need advice, call the number, guys. It's 956-278-0720. 956-278-0720. Yeah.
We might not know what to say, but we'll think of something.
Yeah, we'll
that
think of
might
something.
fit your situation
We have our
perfectly.
good advice, our good experiences.
Sadly.
Sadly.
Good or bad experiences, you learn from them. Life moves on, and so do you. You grow, you blossom into the butterfly that you will be.
That was beautiful.
I try to be.
That was beautiful. You go, Glen Coco. Not for you, Gretchen
Oh, I hated
Wieners.
that movie.
Oh my god. But yeah, guys, call that number. Let me know if you guys want a Twitter page for this podcast, because we can make that happen.
Or a video.
Or a video. That would be interesting. We could actually record footage of this podcast. I don't know if you guys want that. We can put it
we'll
on.
give it to you, because again,
We'll
this
is
is
to
not
you.
a democracy.
Exactly.
You'll get what you get.
You'll get what you get, unless you want to be
grateful.
a Patreon member. I don't know. Maybe we'll include that.
We'll
on
think
there.
of something.
We'll think of something, guys. Just hit up the phone lines. Call us up. Of course, we're not professional, so at the end of the day, if you need professional help, I will link resources below in the podcast show notes. You can also go on the podcast website and just leave a voicemail there if you feel more comfortable there. Maybe I'll have an email address for this podcast. Who knows? Maybe an Instagram page, but for now, there's just a phone number. So just call that thing up, blow it up. If you have me on Instagram, DM me. I will link their Instagrams if they want it linked below.
What was that, Jacob?
I said, sure, that clout.
Sure, Jan.
At WikiLeaks. 2 E's and 2 S's.
Okay, so you're Edward Snowden part 2.
What? No. It's because that came from my favorite, not my favorite movies. My favorite franchise is Star Wars. Wookiee is, a creature, and then leaks,
I get that.
Actual,
That's pretty cool.
Wookiee. I'm saying WikiLeaks. What's the thing called? The website.
Oh, Wikipedia.
No.
WikiLeaks.
WikiLeaks. Yes, I
WikiLeaks.
added Wookiee instead of Wiki. It's not really that creative because I saw it on someone else's, but I made it better. But yeah.
Yeah, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in this week. I'll promise I'll have good episodes coming and running. I'm sorry I'm a shitty host sometimes, but that's just what you get. So tune in, and maybe you can be on the podcast next. I don't know. Hit me up. Anyways, with that being said, have a great morning, day, night, whatever time of the day you're listening to this, and keep on living.
Peace.
See ya.
Bye, guys.
I mean, they can't see you, but yeah.